Nebraska paves the way for criminalization of miscarriages. This is their legislative bill 632. And basically what it says is, let me back up just a little bit. You'll recall a couple of weeks ago, I shared the story with you of a young woman in Georgia, a 28-year-old woman who had a miscarriage and passed out actually from blood loss in the parking lot of her apartment building. She had gone out to put the remains of the miscarriage in her garbage bin, in the dumpster, all wrapped up and disposed of, but disposing. And she was arrested by, they originally came to see if she was okay. She turned out she was just fine. But when they discovered the blood and the fetus, they arrested her on the assumption that maybe she had tried to abort it or something. It turned out it was an absolutely normal miscarriage. But they charged her with improper disposal of a body. And they ultimately dropped the charges when it became clear that, this was just a miscarriage. But now in Nebraska, they want to make it a crime to dispose of the remnants of a miscarriage in any way other than a funeral. Now, one out of every four pregnancies ends in miscarriage, and many of these miscarriages, in fact, the vast majority of them happen in the first 2 or 3 months. And at which point, particularly in the first 2 months, at which point it's just basically a very hard period. And so Senator Megan Hunt, state senator in Nebraska, she asked one of her Republican colleagues, just how much blood has to be on the pad before we're required to give that pad and the microscopic fetus on it a burial. And they were basically any. I mean, it's just Senator Dan Lenonsky, he's one of the sponsors of this. He says, quote, "The absence of regulation in many states means babies can be treated as medical waste." And then the bill's sponsor, Senator Ben Hansen, said that if the bill isn't passed, providers might dispose of fetal remains by, quote, "throwing them in the dumpster," which, by the way, is exactly what that woman in Georgia did, for which she was arrested and they tried to prosecute her. Well, now in Nebraska, she could actually go to prison. Again, this is, one of the sponsors of this bill, quote, "These are human bodies, and as such, they deserve to be treated with some measure of human respect. All of us understand the need and desire to treat dead bodies, including the bodies of miscarriages, stillborn children, with dignity." Right, they're not human bodies. They are, they had the potential to become human bodies. But this is dead tissue now. I'm just astonished by this. And finally, have you gotten a direct message on Twitter from Elon Musk asking if you want some of his sperm? Apparently this is a thing. The Wall Street Journal has a new article about this and Elon Musk's disgusting fetish, his breeding fetish. The headline, the article is titled, quote, "The tactics Elon Musk uses to manage his, quote, legion of babies and their mothers." He calls them legion, right? You'll recall, remember Ashley St. Clair? She was, he impregnated her, and then he sent her a text message saying that, let's spice things up. He said, we have to reach legion levels before the apocalypse, so we need to use surrogates. Really? And sources say he finds mommies on Twitter, like crypto influencer Tiffany Fong. Here's her story. This is amazing. I'm just quoting from this, okay? Quote, this is from the Wall Street Journal. "Musk's interactions ramped up as Fong posted more political content in support of Trump, and Musk followed her last summer. That sort of attention from Musk on X, where he has 219 million followers, sent droves of followers to Fong, which was a financial boon. More engagement meant more earnings for her as part of a revenue sharing program for creators on X. During the height of her interactions with the billionaire owner, Fong earned $21,000 in a 2-week period in November, according to a screenshot she posted. That was about when Musk sent her a direct message asking if she was interested in having his child, according to people familiar with the matter. The two had never met in person." Yeah, this is definitely how Twitter is supposed to work, right? She wouldn't do it, but she told people about it, including Ashley St. Clair, which led Elon to get mad and unfollow her, according to this report. Just like every normal man does, right? Elon has an employee his fixer, who found a big property down in Austin, Texas, where he could build a compound for him and all his women and all of his children. We know of 14. I mean, there are people speculating that he's got over 100 children out there. This fixer guy, quote, was involved, this again from the Wall Street Journal, was involved in acquiring the property for a compound in Austin where Musk imagined the women and his growing number of babies would all live among multiple residences, according to a person familiar with the matter. He is involved in other property deals across Musk's different businesses. Similarly, he tried to get Sinclair to spend some of her time in Austin with our kid Legion, according to a text he sent her. I mean, this is weird. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's just weird. And this guy is actively dismantling the United States government. At the same time, we're giving him billions and billions of dollars in federal contracts. What the hell is going on here? I mean, this is even weirder than Trump and all his affairs and marriages and it's totally weird. So what say you?